Today, a slightly different location. Well, more than slightly, a totally different location. We're here in the Emporium of Furnishing Excellence of McCabe's on the Belfast Road in Newry. 5th generation in the business. First came to Newry on the back of a cart almost from the great city of Belfast. The inheritor of the legacy is none other than Raymond himself. Raymond McCabe, how are you? It's nice to see you.
How are you?
Thank you for inviting me into your studio. You're normally in mine.
Of course.
But it's good to be here because this is a huge establishment. Up to now, people have merely looked at the front, but it's what lies beneath, what lies behind.
Indeed.
Just give us a broad outline of what happens here.
Well, funny you say about the front of the shop. A lot of people think it's only the front along the Belfast Road, Downshire Road. But as you witnessed this morning, looking around, we have a large warehouse at the back, and we have beds, giftware, pianos, bedroom suites, rugs, dining room, lounge.
It's endless, dare one say. It's endless.
And a lot of one-off pieces, unique pieces.
Yeah, that in itself, but I mean, at the same time, it's a one-off, unique piece. But people sometimes would get the notion that that's all you do. You don't. You have the whole swathe of furnishing magnificence.
Yeah, we do like a lot of three-piece suites and dining, and to suit every pocket. Some people might want a table and 2 chairs. Some people might want a table and 18 chairs.
Wow, you can do that.
We have them in stock.
In stock?
In stock.
Wow, I tell you. You're very proud of this tradition because more than anything, I think quality when I come in here.
Of course, yeah.
And I also think tradition. And you can't have one without the other.
No, and I suppose as a child you were brought up through the business, not really known. You got a job on a Saturday cleaning a piece of old furniture, washing it down with a special concoction my father used to make up to polish furniture. And you were brought through it and you learnt the hard way of what was good piece of furniture and which wasn't so good.
Yeah. Are there, obviously here in this vast arena of furniture and soft furniture as well as the hard and the mahogany and the oaks and all of that, and the pianos are here too. And I get to wondering, outside of this place, where would you go to get the like of it? Unique is a word that comes to mind.
Yeah, true. I don't know where you would go. Yeah, you have the smaller antique shop who specialises.
Oh yeah.
We do a range. We'll do some antiques, but 90% of what we do is new furniture, but at a quality. You would find it hard to find. Unfortunately, with the times they're in it, a lot of the better shops have gone.
Yeah.
There's 10 actually gone in Belfast. I'm sorry to say it, but we just keep a shoulder on,
Yeah, it's an interesting phrase you use, better shops. Simple 2-word phrase, but suddenly there is a cascading of all that means when you come in here into this place. Quality, quality, quality.
Very much so. We try to get the quality first. That's the main thing. Get the quality right, then the price, delivery, service, and advising people. Like I had a client in last week who wanted a little hall table. She bought one of us 20 years ago. I actually convinced her that we could repolish it for her.
Wow.
Instead of her, because it was the right size, the dimensions were right about it for her hall. So we repolished and she's delighted.
Yeah.
So we were out of a sale, but we got the polishing job.
You got the polishing job, and that's a woman will tell her neighbours and tell everybody else.
Yeah.
Because about more than anything, selling is not about getting the quick buck. Selling is about the trust that you develop with somebody.
Of course it is. Yeah, of course it is.
know.
And we deliver from Derry, Belfast, Ballymena. The boys were in Kildare last week.
You were even across the water.
Oh, even across the water, yeah.
Yeah, you'll be seen there in the south of England, traipsing around in the green van.
Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. What's the most joyous thing for you, Raymond McCabe, about coming into work on a Monday morning?
Of course, sales. Everybody's led by sales.
Well, you're destroyed if you don't have them.
Of course, pleasing people that they buy something and they're over the moon with it. Or somebody comes in and said, a lot of people come in and say, like, my granny bought something off your grandfather and we still have it and it's still a lovely piece of furniture. And we get a lot of joy to that, pleasing people and finding what they're after. Yeah, and picking people's brain because they come in and they say, I'm looking for a coffee table. Which type? There's 40 different styles on the floor.
Yes.
So it's getting them married up with something.
I have, you must get enormous pleasure out of me coming in because I say to you, you don't always get a sale.
No,
but I
it's
say
not
to
about
you,
sales.
Raymond, guide me to the tunnel of temptation.
But you might see something today and come back in 6 months' time and think about it and come back and...
Well, this happened when I saw the magnificent settee, leather, South African. What was special about the magnificent settee I bought from you?
Well, you can buy Wafo ham or you can buy gammon steak.
Wow.
You bought a gammon steak.
I bought a gammon steak.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's proper full hide.
Yeah.
It's not man-made, pulled together with plastics and half plastics and cheaper suits that go mouldy after a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's a better quality. And it wasn't cheap, Ron.
No.
No.
But you did me a deal.
Yeah, did you do?
Yeah,
But-
because,
and you have it now.
I have it. It's well used, well tried, as is the bed.
Yeah, of course.
The bed I got from you was a Harrison, was it?
Harrison handmade.
Tell us
bed.
about what's special about the Harrison bed.
Well, Harrisons have been going 150 years, and their first thing is they do a pocket spring, but not like anybody else. They do a spring count up to 12, 14,000 springs in a bed.
Yes.
But their fillings are all natural. They have their own sheep, they have their own 300-acre farm, they grow their own hemp on their license.
Yes.
They have a McCabe's thrash machine. They dry it, they stack it, and they use cashmere's, wools, and cottons. No foam.
Yeah, no foam.
No foam used at all.
Foam is
no memory foam, no foam.
verboten. Is no foam. We don't like foam. No.
No.
I paid. I don't know what I paid you for the bed, but you've stuff to suit all tastes.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Right now, in the bed range, what does that mean? First of all, you don't sell any bad beds.
No, but you could have somebody come in with a 7-year-old child. They might want to buy a Harrison for a 7-year-old child. But when that child becomes 14, 15, 18, they're growing, steadily growing, you want a better bed for them. It's like the old story of the shoes. Good
Yes.
bed, good shoes. And it's all to do with healthcare.
Yeah, of course.
We try to suit every pocket, but one thing is we try to get the quality right. And it depends on what people have to spend. We'll try and suit them.
Would you ever have sold beds? My memory of beds was a wooden assemblage that was like something from the court of the Spanish Inquisition. And it was all sort of, it was like a net, a metal net, a steel net, stretched out on a wooden frame.
A wire mesh bed.
A wire mesh bed. Now, what's that about? They've all gone now.
With a crank handle.
A crank handle to tighten
the
it.
firmness.
Yeah.
And you had to put a blanket over it because the spring wire would go into the mattress
And destroy the mattress.
They're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone.
And long may they continue to be gone.
Correct.
I grew up in those.
But the new modern base now, the majority of the better ones have springs in them as well.
Springs?
So it's really the same principle with a cover over it.
Yeah.
But they're built into the bases.
Yeah. Why, I have no spring in my bed that you sold me. I thought you sold me the greatest bed in the world.
Oh, you have spring.
But have I a spring?
Oh, you have springs.
Where's my spring?
In the bed, you can't see it.
I can't see it. I have many thousand, 1,500 or what? 15,000.
You've
Thousand.
No, not 15,000. You've about 8,000 springs.
8,000 springs. Yeah.
Now, when they say spring count, they're talking from a 3-inch, an inch, half-inch spring.
Yeah.
But that does away with the foams, so there's a spring instead of foam. And the other thing is, a bed needs a lot of air. You turn your bed down.
Stand her up.
Stand it
Put
up.
her on the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that, and it's now it hasn't done my shoulders much good trying to get that big mattress stood up like this here, and but it's very, very cozy, I tell you.
It is.
And very, very reliable, and it hasn't collapsed or anything else, which thanks be to God.
It's under pressure.
Well, now, pressure. Pressure's nothing to me, as you would know. I just don't deal with pressure. But the beds are there, very, very good and very comfortable.
Of course,
And the older one gets, the more one needs comfort. And, this is the whole
if
thing.
anybody wants to come in, we'll advise them, right, what suits their pocket, what suits their style at the minute. We do from apartment beds to holiday beds to every type.
Yeah, okay. We move away from the beds. I want fine dining now. I see you've polished mahogany there.
Yes.
And you've got very shiny mahogany, but you also have mahogany that might well have been on a table in the court of Henry VIII.
Dining has changed a lot. Dining as dining rooms have changed. It's now open plan kitchens.
Yes.
With large dining sets.
Yeah. They're in Dublin when they're making houses now. There's not even a kitchen in the house.
No, no.
Because people don't have time.
They haven't time.
But we're still catering for the domesticity of folk.
For every one dining room suite would sell 15, 20 kitchen sets.
Would you?
Yeah.
And that's where they sit in high chairs.
Yeah, the ratios come back.
Wow.
And we sell like oak, teak, walnut, different finishes, wax finish, glass top, from a 2-seater, 6, 8, 10, and multiples of that.
Advise me, now that I'm older, I've been through the big tables. I made my own table. I pulled it out of the ocean, the huge beam that I made into my table. Great table it was too. But there happened in the course of my life the minor unpleasantness of a divorce.
Right.
So I'm now the product of a dysfunctional life.
Okay.
I live mostly alone. Now, what kind of dining table should I have for me, and what kind of chairs?
Well, we sell little trays. You can sit.
No, quit that. Trays on me knee and on your settee. No, I want a feeling, a good feeling as I'm sitting there relaxing.
First of all, you've got.
I suppose it'd need to go for 2.
It's your space.
Yeah.
First of all, it's your space. If people measure a table, we measure a table only, and then we give people the size with the chairs on it.
Yes.
So if you're going for a 4x3,
I wouldn't be having a 4x3.
Well, what size would you like to go
One,
for?
but two people at
Oh,
most.
2 people. Oh, that'd be quite intimate. That would be a small round table you'd be going for.
Small round.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would suggest you a small round.
Well, we'll look at that. And you have some of that I can see.
We have indeed, yeah.
We'll examine some of that before I go. So that's the dining experience. And sometimes you find that, as I said, you have the rough kind of finish to the mahogany.
Of course, yeah.
Other times highly polished. Why is it? I kind of prefer the rough finish.
Yeah.
I do, actually.
You want to see the little wine stains. I can remember that wine stain, how it got there and so on. Or coffee.
Yes.
Or coffee.
Or coffee. Did you say cognac? No.
Cognac. Yes, you can have that finish, and that's gone back to the old era of, instead of silicone waxes or sprays, we had wax.
Yes.
And the furniture was waxed and cared for, and people all feel that. You can smell the wax coming off it. But the wax gets into the pores of the grain.
It starts to build and
builds
lovely.
slow. It's like a car that's been waxed.
It's a bit like my shoes.
Like your
you
shoes.
Know, look at those. Those are handmade and very, very old, but they're good. I have 2 pairs of those because I believe in quality.
Of course.
Okay, good hat, good shoes, good bed.
Yeah.
What more does a man need? This
Correct.
is very, very important. And I think it's important to say, we look at this in our next program, but we're not finished yet, but the business of the design facility that you offer here.
Yeah.
Your good lady, Mary,
Yeah.
she looks after the interior design element of the business. And we look at that on another occasion. But for now, we'll continue where we are with our journey through all of this. What should I do with a table that vexes me very substantially? And I inherited it. It's in my penthouse apartment overlooking the ocean. And it's an iron frame with a glass top, and it's exceedingly ugly. What should one do? No, go for it. Tell me what I should be.
Well, you don't like it, so you don't use it.
Get rid of it.
Yes.
It has to go. That's the first thing, because life's too short, and that's going to go, right? I get rid of that. I suppose, if I'm really being honest, with the wooden table I'd want, I really should, I suppose, go for 4.
4-seater.
Maybe. It's a wee bit better.
Well, if you have a small area, you could use 2 chairs in your hall, or your lantern, or your bedroom.
I have a fairly big area.
A big area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just my desk and my writing desk, which we'll talk about in a moment. And because I think if you're sitting at the right desk, the words come better. If you're serving food onto the right table, the cooking in the kitchen goes better. What do you think?
I would reckon a single pedestal potted table would suit you better. There's loads of excess and no legs. Hindering, so you can get
What do you mean no legs?
So you've got one leg in the middle of the table coming down on the tripod with a 3 to 3'6" top on it.
My God.
So you could
I saw one of these in your place, but that's a very shiny table.
Well, we can dull it down for you if you wish.
But so the iron and glass is going. I'm getting rid of that.
Okay.
Now, wooden chairs.
Wooden chairs.
We don't want to go too mad.
Okay.
So we have to look at those, and we'll do all of that. So it's all possible.
Yeah, all possible.
But the philosophy is you don't live with that which you don't like.
Correct.
Because life's too short.
Of course.
Far, far too short. Now, the piano. We need to talk the piano. And we need to remind people again, for goodness sake, Raymond, that you're not just an emporium for the aristocrats like myself.
Course. No.
You'll serve ordinary people too, so to speak.
Well, talking about pianos, we have pianos here for beginners at £400, £500, £600.
Yes.
Then they go up to £800, £900.
Yes.
With different makes. That's on the used pianos.
Yes.
What you're looking at here are used.
Yes.
These three are used pianos.
They're lovely, yeah. Do you know that I can play piano? You keep looking at me. Don't do anything. You'll hear me do this. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not bad.
Beautiful.
That's bad.
Fantastic.
It was very, very jolly altogether. So the pianos are here, but they're very heavy.
They are very heavy, and
You wouldn't get one of those into my place, I tell you.
we could try. We could try.
Have you ever been beaten when you arrived at a house where you needed to get a piano, a bed, or a settee into and you couldn't do it?
Well, I was beaten recently. A customer rang us to sell us a piano back,
Yes.
and I went and asked my father about this particular house in Rostrevor,
Yes.
and he informed me that the piano was put in while the roof was off the house.
And he remembered
He
that.
remembered it. And it was put in by a gentleman called Alan Crozier, who's not with us anymore.
Alan
On his
Crozier.
crane on his lorry.
My goodness.
And the roof would have to come back off the house to get the piano out.
So
So I was beaten on that one.
you were beaten. Well, sure, we can forgive you for
Forgive
that.
us now.
But isn't it interesting? And this comes back to traditionality.
Yeah.
That you could go to your father, and Huey could have gone to Johnny ahead of you.
Yes,
And you're able to ask a question, and he remembers.
yes. And I actually went recently about how would I get a piano up an arch-shaped staircase.
Yes.
And he started advising me to get a box and do this and do that and do the other. And it worked perfectly.
Worked perfectly, yeah. The worst thing, I suppose, you have some beautiful stuff over there, delicate stuff. Has anyone ever come in and... I remember we once went to do a program when I was with BBC, and it was in the house of a lord, and the cameraman and myself and the sound man and the taxi driver, we had all of those in those days.
Okay.
And the cameraman was a wee bit nosy, and he was fondling this antique Ming vase. Yes, it happened. He dropped the bloody thing. Now, I don't remember, or I choose to forget, how we extricated ourselves from that situation, but very, very difficult. Do you feel, in real terms, we talk tradition there, do you feel in real terms that you're standing on the shoulders of giants, surrounded by good ghosts?
Of course we am. Of course, it goes without saying that my grandfather, great-grandfather, my father worked very hard at the business, worked very hard from the Mary Street days, from the market to Mary Street to the Belfast Road now. And it's tradition, and we want to be here for the next generation with a good reputation of selling product that is quality, foremost.
And the generation continues. Your young fellows and young girls, they're interested.
Yes, yeah, they're interested.
So McCabe's is in safe hands.
Yes, hopefully, yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And I'm just so impressed.
Thank you very much.
And I wish you well. And you and I'll go off now, and we'll have a look at that dining table.
We will.
But we should, before we go, tell them about the lovely writing desk and the dilemma I had when purchasing.
Right, what was your dilemma, Ron?
My dilemma was whether I bought the one that didn't have the foley up top and the put down.
Oh, the flat
or
top.
Or go for
and
I went for the flat
top. The roll
top.
top, the flat top, yeah.
And then the choice.
Partner's desk.
Yeah. But the thing was lovely because when I wanted a lamp to go with this little writing desk, lovely little drawers, beautifully made.
Yeah.
That's where I write my cards.
And the beauty about your desk, it's made from solid wood, solid timbers.
Totally solid.
So if it did get a damage, we can repair it or repolish it.
My goodness.
Not like in a few years. Might need freshened up, we call it.
Well, freshened up is fine. But that desk that I chose, I also chose a lamp to go with it.
You did?
And you allowed me to take several lamps and test them.
I did.
And we come up with the right lamp. And it's all very good.
Thank you very much.
As a boy who, as a man who, when a boy, played games down the yard in Mary Street, I was 5 when I first wandered down your yard,
Yep.
living as I did in number 5, born in number 5,
Okay.
your house across the street. Your grandmother,
Yeah.
when I went to college then, when I was phoning home, who would I phone? Mrs. McCabe, the only phone in the street. And she'd go over and get my mummy over to take the call. But as a boy with that sort of connectivity with you, I just want to tell you, I'm proud to know you,
Thank you very
know
much.
your family, and delighted to have your furnishing in my home.
Thank you very much, Ron. Thank you.
Good luck.
Cheers. Thank you.